You got a letter from—" I started, but my aunt interrupted, seemingly unaware that I had spoken.
"Scarlet loved the fish, didn't she? I remember when you were little, she used to kneel by the pond and make faces at her reflection. She always said that it was like another twin, only even wetter than you."
I gave a weak smile. Typical Scarlet. She made fun of everyone, and me the most, but I never thought anything of it. Or tried not to, anyway. Scarlet and I were mirror twins. Before we were born, our mother thought she was having only one baby, but then I arrived, a slightly smaller and weaker version of my sister, but a perfect mirror image. Our birthmarks were the same, but on opposite sides. I was left-handed, while Scarlet was right-handed. Aunt Phoebe's husband, Dr. Gregory, had once told me that our hearts might be reversed too. I was like Scarlet's reflection come to life. I sat beside Aunt Phoebe on the bench. It wasn't surprising that my aunt's thoughts were of Scarlet. She had always been everyone's favourite, bold and brash and outgoing. I was just Ivy. Shy, clingy Ivy. I could have been Scarlet's reflection, but I might as well have been her shadow.
"Oh, goodness, I am sorry," Aunt Phoebe said. "I was just reminded of her."
"I understand," I said. But I didn't. I didn't understand why Scarlet had died. I didn't understand how someone so full to the brim with life could be gone. I didn't understand why God, if he was up there, would give me a twin only to take her away again. Or that somehow the world was still carrying on. "You got a letter," I repeated, waving it at her. Aunt Phoebe looked up.
"Oh, what does it say?"
"They want me to go to Rookwood, to take Scarlet's place." Her eyes widened considerably.
"Well, gosh." She paused. "That's quite an honour. It's a prestigious school, isn't it?"
Rookwood School. Barely a few months ago, just before the summer had begun, Scarlet had died there. A sudden fever, they said, flu or pneumonia, something that couldn't have been predicted or prevented. My stepmother casually told me these explanations as I sobbed, as if they meant nothing, when half of my world had just been torn away. I never wanted to go to that place. Not now, not ever. I looked up at my aunt, her gentle face framed by greying hazel curls.
"And your father has already agreed to it?"
I sighed. It was just like him to agree such a thing without telling me. "According to the letter, it says the fees have been paid in full."
"Well then, it's decided, my dear,"
said Aunt Phoebe. I didn't reply.
"I'll leave you to think about it,"
she said brightly, patting me on the leg. Then she wandered off down the garden path, past the privy and the vegetable patch, and began pulling weeds. She started to sing quietly to herself, already a world away. I felt helpless, like I was being slowly dragged towards Rookwood, a place only seen in my imagination, but nonetheless it filled me with terror. Maybe it will be a good thing, I tried to tell myself. A new start, new friends, any friends. After all, Scarlet had always said she wished that I could join her there. I would be closer to her there somehow, wouldn't I? Without warning, I started to cry and hastily wiped the tears from my cheeks. Who was I kidding? The last place on earth I wanted to go was the place where Scarlet had... Just thinking about it made my head pound. I threw the stupid letter onto the grass. Aunt Phoebe looked up, clutching a handful of straggly dandelions. I put my head in my hands and heard her walking back towards me down the gravel path.
"Oh, Scarlet,"
she said, looking over me with blank eyes.
"I'm sure you'll be all right going to this school. I'll miss you terribly, of course, but you will be fine on your own, won't you?"
She didn't even notice her mistake. I didn't think I would ever be fine on my own. Chapter 2. It was a bright day that followed, one of those where it feels so hot and hazy that you can't believe the summer is coming to an end. I was lying flat on my back on the stone edge of the pond, reading a tattered copy of Jane Eyre and trying my best to forget about my impending Rookwood fate. Sometimes I would look into the water just to see my green-tinged reflection staring back at me. It was almost enough to pretend Scarlet was right there with me. Almost.
"Ivy!"
My aunt's voice rang out from the back door. I sat up so quickly I almost dropped the
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.